So Elizabeth Kalunda is a seasoned academic and finance professional, serving as an associate professor and acting deputy vice chancellor of finance and administration at the United States International University, Africa. She is, you wanted to clap? She is a board member of the Gospel Outreach Church Thika, Lofty Coburn Investments Limited, Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, Kenya Accountants and Secretaries National Examination Board, and 2 secondary schools. You wanted to clap again? She is a mother, wife, farmer, entrepreneur, and a mentor. We can also clap for that. So now we clap as we bring her to the microphone. Do you want to take a risk?
Well, thank you so much for that introduction. And thank you so much, all of you, for coming to listen. And I really want to thank Doso for the job that you've done. All these women, the 14 women who wrote their beautiful, encouraging stories, were all brought here because of you. So please, let's clap for him. Yeah. Yeah, you took a great risk, and it has brought forth fruit. Now, Dottie, also thank you. We've been the engagement, the webinars, and them seeing. Thank you for that. How did I come into this podium? I got an inbox from Doso, and then we agreed that he'll give me a call. Normally, I think I have something of just discerning whether something is right or wrong. I didn't think twice, so I told him, I'm game. And for sure, I didn't make a mistake. Yeah, I think I've taken so many risks that at this point, if something is just bad, I'll just know it's bad, and I'll just say a straight no. Yeah, so for some of us who are saying they had to think, I think with the time, I've been able to just know this is right, this is not wrong. And I believe that as we grow, we'll also be able to have that. Yeah, so that you don't waste so much time, you do things, and then in the middle you say, I wish I knew. Yeah, so I really thank God for that ability to just be able to know this one will work, this one will not. And when I got that call and we agreed what I should write, actually I took 2 days to do the writing. And there's something about planning and the plan. Now, when I was told to do that, I had to start working at the back end of my mind in terms of what am I going to write. So the time I got my laptop and started writing, by one night, actually I think I slept around 3. I had gone for a conference and I was in the hotel, so I was alone. So I said, today I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to tour the country. I'll just sit in my room. And by around 3, I had my first draft. The next part, when I was coming back now home, I just sat somewhere and I finished the draft, and I said, this is ready. So I was very glad when I shared it with Doso, and he said, yeah, good draft. Yeah, so, and if you read my book, there's a part I've mentioned about when it comes to probably success or just doing things, it's not the plan that it's important, but it is the planning bit. Because once you've planned it well, everything will just flow. So let us learn how to plan, not having plans, but the planning aspect. For me, that's the most important thing. And it will make other things quite easy. As I talk about this book or the issue of risk, the title of my chapter was Risk, the Road to Success. So one, I would want to dedicate this book and this chapter to my mom. I've been brought up by my mom, and she's a phenomenal woman. Whatever I am now is because of her. And sometimes when I see my daughter, I'm actually happy because I feel like what I've learned from my mom, my daughter has also learned it from me. So let me acknowledge my daughter who is here. Mbula, please just raise up your hand and stand. That's my daughter. She's called Samantha. And I also have a team here of my supporters, my friends from the profession, from other walks of life who I really am happy to see them here. I'll just mention them by name. I know my time is limited, but this is so special. So thank you so much, Abiba. Abiba is there. We have Mugweru, who is my mentee. We have Fatia. In fact, actually, most of my friends were just inboxing and asking me, when are we, where is it, how much? I mean, those stories and then their game. Yeah, so those are the kind of friends that I have. So thank you, Fatia. There's Dr. Laibon, who has left. He had another commitment, but he told me he must be here. There's Sheila. Sheila is my student. Sheila, where are you? Yes, there, Sheila. And she also invited her friend, Jane. Thank you so much for coming. There they are. There's Kezia and her daughter. Kezia, yeah, good. You can imagine Kezia and her daughter. So there's also another young one. Huh? The one with those headphones. That's the Gen Z. These are the, which generation is that? The Alpha. Yeah, we can tell them by just looking at them. So Kezia, thank you for bringing her along so that she can be able to learn and just know this is the path as a young girl I should follow. Okay? And then I have Maureen. Maureen. Yeah, so those are the dear friends who came, and I have so many following online. I'm just getting congratulations. We are listening to Prof. Yeah, so I'm happy for that. Yeah, so who is this standing in front of you? You've heard that I'm a CPA, I'm an associate professor. I sit in a number of boards. I'm also the vice chairman of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya. And so the question would be, so who is this? Let me start by saying that some years back, I couldn't even imagine I would be who I am. And I'm glad because it is risk that has made me the woman I am now. Now, I trained as a teacher. So I did B.Ed, and I did B.Ed in home science and economics. Home science and economics. Right now, I'm a CPA, and I'm associate professor in finance. Just look at that change. And why I'm saying this is that we can always make changes in our careers. And actually, that's what my chapter is all about. Whatever you have actually the power to be something much more than you can. So, in my book, I'll just try to just summarize so that you read the book. One, the key things, I have actually around 6 things that I just wanted to highlight. One is that in life, and this is actually my personal story, I've seen that life is a constant evolution, and it brings growth. If I look back where I was and where I am, there's always change. So for us ladies, as we take risks, as we want to be something better, just know there will always be a change. And for me, this is a parameter that is so key. If you find that your life is the same 5 years ago, another 5 years, honestly, there's a problem there. So you need to ask yourself, how are you evolving to be the next thing that you should be? So for those of us who love comfort zones, you are complacent, just know you are not taking any risk and you are not going to achieve your full potential. And I like what one of my co-authors said, relating it to the story in the Bible of the Lord who went for a trip. He gave the servants some talents, similar. But one just went and he did. You see, so if you don't work on your potential, if you are not changing, that is actually who you are. Are we together there? So please take that home. And then another thing that I've captured in the chapter and with stories of my life is the issue of the power of risk-taking, which brings in resilience. Now, what you need to know is, if you don't take risk, you'll not be resilient. Anything that comes in, you'll be falling back. Now, if you learn to take risk, and risk is something that you want to do, but you are not sure about what the outcome will be. It can either be good or not. That is something that is risky. So for you to be able to proceed, you should be able to say, I don't want to remain in my comfort zone and just be where I am because I don't want to to rock the boat. No. if you take risk, there's a lot of resilience. We've heard the story from Eunice, how she really took a lot of time before she finally did, and she did it. So, and now she can do more. So it's about resilience, doing things that you cannot take. And then another very important thing that I've captured in my book is the belief in your own potential. I know women, we have the imposter syndrome. Sometimes we feel like, no, I can't do it. But how I have learned to break that, because I'm also a victim of that, is having powerful friends. You know, we have those friends who tell you, go for it. You can do it. Do you have such friends? And if your friends are the ones who tell you, I know that one you cannot make it, those are not your friends. Are we together there? Yeah, because I know there are those friends who, when you meet them, they tell you, you sioni kitobwa. Do you think you can make it? No, those ones are not your friends. Actually, where I am now, it is people who saw something in me. And they told me, you can go for it, you can do it. And they even give you support in getting it. So make sure you have such friends. It will make the journey of risk very easy. The other thing is that I never settle for less. Never, ever, ever, ever settle for less. And I know for us as ladies, sometimes we might not know how to make that balance because we underrate ourselves. So wherever we are like, we are well. No. Can you set your targets high so that you don't settle for anything less? Are we together there? Yeah, so let us always make sure that we have a high target. Like sometimes if you listen to the targets that I have, you might, like I remember just at the beginning of this year, I was talking to myself about how much I need to have saved by the end of the year. If you had the target, utashangaa. But somehow I'm almost there. So you see, you set high targets, not things that are easily achievable. Otherwise, those ones you can sleep and they still get realized. So set tough targets, okay? And then the other thing is the issue of balancing in life for us, especially for women. For us to excel, we must have that act of getting that balance. You can imagine we are mothers, we are wives, we have other activities that we need, we work, And in this story, one thing, people normally ask me, all those things that you are doing, how do you manage? And one thing that I've come to see is that if you want to do something and you are committed to it, you will also always have the time. And a good example I can give is just recently, from the introduction, you were told that I sit in our church board. I'm the leader of the women's ministry. Now, this appointment, 5 years back, our bishop told me, actually he called me and told me he wants me to sit in the board. So I told him, give me time, let me just think about it, pray about it. And then after a period, I sent him a text. I didn't even want to call. I told him, I can't make it. I have so many things that I want to do. Now, he didn't give up. 5 years after, the same conversation, and I said, honestly, who am I to say no? Honestly, you can imagine your bishop has told you 5 years and he has waited. So how can you say no? You get it? Because in my mind, I was saying, I'm so busy. But looking at my time now and then, I'm even more busier than I was then. But I said, I will definitely do it. So when we had the consecration in church and then I posted my photos, a very good friend of mine, she's a chair of a board that I sit, she told me, Prof, you know what? Serving God is the greatest service in life. You know, we normally serve mankind, but now you are serving God. That is the greatest. And let me give you a testimony. I have never lacked time. I have never lacked time. And in our church, we've done so many things for the ladies that are there, that were not there. And I really thank God. In fact, looking back, I would wonder, how will I get the time? But we have created the time. So never refuse service of whatever. Even at work, sometimes you'll say, no, where will I get time? I want to do my master's. I want to do my doctorate. I want to do a certain course. You don't have time. Believe you me, if you commit yourself, you'll always have time. Are we together there? Okay, now the other thing is that along the line of taking risks, trying to develop, you will always find that the journey is tough, especially when we have risk. Kuna casualties along the way. There's a lot of, it's a painful process. But it is very important for you to actually enjoy the journey. Don't look at the destination. And for me, the key thing that I've captured in my book is when I was doing my CPAs. Actually, you remember I did Behead Omicron, and then now I'm in accounting. When I was doing CPAs, that is the certified public exams of accountants, certified public accountants exams under CASNEB, which for the CPAs, you know, it's very tough. That was one of the toughest things that I was doing. But we created a group of friends. I'm telling you, my CPA journey was a very beautiful journey. Those friends, I think it was almost 15 or 20 years, I can't even remember. We are still friends up to now. Along the way, we got kids. We visited each of our homes up to now. And you can imagine if my son is 18 and they came to see my son. So you can imagine how many years that was. We are still friends up to now. So you can imagine it was a tough journey, but we really made the journey very enjoyable as we wait for the destination. So what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say is that in whatever you are doing, see the good in it, make it easy by just trying to forget about the hardship, but create a strong support system so that things might be good. And then another thing, as we try to grow, because for me, I say risk is the road to success, we need a strong support system. Support system will come from your dear ones, your close ones. It can be your family, your parents, it can be your husband, depending on who is your system. And in the support system, I really want to recognize the mentors and the coaches I've had in my life. Now, one thing that I've found about my mentors/coach, and I have many depending on what I want, is that these are those people who will tell you the truth. You know, if you are fearing something or you want to do something, they'll tell you that one, just forget about it. Or, why can't you take it and do it this way? People who you'll expose your vulnerability to them. But you have to be discerning to know that this is the right person. So when you have such kind of a support system, you'll always have at least a clear way forward. And for me, if I just look back, even at my career, sometimes I'm not so sure what to do. Sometimes I'm at crossroads. So what do? I just look at one of my mentors who is much higher than me, and I tell him or her, this is where I am. These are things they've gone through. So they just tell me, this one, you do this, and you do that. And I end up making a very good decision. So again, making sure that any risk that I take is going to be an informed and calculated risk. Another thing I want to mention about risk is about networking. Now, when the introduction was being done, there was a mention that I'm one of the directors of a money market firm that is called Lofty Coburn Investments Limited, listed by Capital Market Authority and also licensed by the Retirement Benefit Authorities. So how did I get into this company? Now, I went for a function. And normally when I go for functions, I show up for the functions. Si kuenda tu hivo. You know, you go unaji present so that when people see, they say, there's something about this lady. I wish together there. Yeah, so when I went for that function, after I was introduced, the lady was like, okay, this is a prof at this age in finance. So in their company, when they needed somebody to do consultancies on finance, reporting, and all that, she asked me whether I wanted. So I asked her, what is this all about? And remember, I have that discernment. I saw this is a good thing. So when I was told to do consultancy, I told her, no, you know, I'm on full-time basis. I wouldn't want to take that because my name will be shared because those are key positions, and they have to be shared with the regulator, and I'm still working. I told him, why can't you just give me share ownership? Why can't I be a shareholder? Yeah, so I told her, this is my profile, and I'm going to bring a lot of value in this firm. And then she floated it in the board. So the CEO called me and asked me, okay, we had a talk, and I think I have a way of just getting along with people. So we just became very good friends with the CEO. So he told me in the next board meeting, I'm going to have you. And that is how I became a member of that organization. It was not free. I was to raise some millions. Yeah. And within a very short notice, So I had to look for the money. And I told my husband, and he was very cooperative. And as a wise woman, you must save. Are we together? So that opportunities, they don't pass you, I don't have money. You must have something, a fallback. So I had the money. And you can imagine within that team, we were able to raise 42 million. Not 1,000 million. Yeah, you see. And now we are a firm that we are doing very well. We have almost assets, almost 3 billion assets under management. And yeah, you can imagine, you know. So that opportunity, I got it because of networking. Another networking event, I had been invited. I went, did my talk, and after that, I got 2 board positions offers. You can imagine, just by talking. So one of them is very regulated, so I have to go through a process. So what am I trying to tell you? It is the way you present yourself, the way you show up, you know, that is what will determine who you'll be. And there's a risk there. Because one, even just saying, I am going and I'll talk and nitatokelezea, you know, that is a risk. Are we together here? So when you're invited for certain activities like these ones, come. You never know, that, just as has been said, who is going to be sitting next to you. That could be your destiny helper, could be your gatekeeper and all that. Now, the next thing is that, and this is as I almost conclude, is that the reason why I was very happy to be part of this project is I always feel like whatever you are given, you should actually be able to multiply it. You should be able to impact. So the stories that we've given in the book are actually stories to inspire the readers. And also to inspire us. You know, when we read them, it's like, wow, this is me. Yeah, so those are stories of inspirations. For those of you who've not gotten a copy, please, can you get a copy? And in the next project, can we see your stories? Because it is through this that we are able to actually just make the world better. So finally, Dottie, as I conclude, I'll say, I am a living testimony that women should embrace risk, okay? And risk-taking should be taken as a strategy. And this will be a strategy for personal, professional, financial, all kinds of growth. So remember when I started, we talked about the issue of evolution and constant growth. So that is what we should embrace. So thank you so much for listening to me, and I'm very happy that I'm part of this project. Asanteni tena. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, thank you.